Hello, everybody. My guest today is Brian Harris. He's one of the nation's leading experts in cosmetic dentistry. His creation of the Smile Virtual software platform allows cosmetic dentists to connect with patients from around the world via video consults. The software streamlines the smile makeover process and transforms lives by increasing self-confidence. Brian, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Good stuff. So tell us, first off, were you software guy first and then dentist, or dentist first and then software guy?
Dentist first and then software. So 15 years as a cosmetic dentist, and then discovered this wonderful world of entrepreneurship and software.
Interesting. So what was that moment like? Most dentists are happy making a couple $1,000,000 a month, 2 or 3 centers. Very few go, I could create software and sell it to all the other dentists around the world.
Yeah. So the epiphany for me was about 3 years ago when I first kind of developed version 1 of the software, kind of for myself. The business just exploded, and there was people from all over the world reaching out, wanting these types of procedures. And I kind of had that moment of like, wow, there's a true need for this out there. And I can do more good by leveraging it and helping others than just being selfish and doing it myself.
What year was that?
That was in about 2017, mid 2000s, end of 2016.
Okay. So call it 2 years, 2.5 years ago, something like that. And walk me through how you make money now today. Are dentists paying these fees, or are the people that want to have their smiles fixed paying the fees?
So, there's 2 different ways. I see on average now 2 to 3 new smiles a day from the software myself, and I'm booked out about 3 months right now. And so I get a lot of patients myself from it. And then we've got about 75 doctors currently using the software, also growing their own brand and attracting patients from all over to try to implement the same types of things in their practice.
I'm trying to get though, what's your revenue model on this piece of software?
My revenue model is my customer is the dentist. Mm-hmm. So okay. I still benefit personally on the patient side, but the business model is the dentist.
I see. Okay, and give me a general sense. What's a dentist going to pay you per month for this kind of software?
Yeah, so right now there's like a setup fee and a training fee, which is an online kind of automated training system. It's about a $3,500 fee to get started, and then right now they're at about $499 a month with this new version of the software. That's $499 a month.
It's like $500.
$500 a month, yeah. So the new version of the software is going to get it down to about $299 probably.
Okay. So just can I take 75 dentists times $500? I mean, this is doing 30, 40 grand a month for you right now?
It's doing pretty well.
That's nice. Why you just said the new version will cut the price in half. Why do you want to cut the price in half?
Well, a lot of what we're doing right now is very heavy on the service side, kind of having to hold these doctors' hands and walk them through. It's pretty intensive as far as understanding how the platform works. The new software puts it all into one place, streamlines the system. So the goal is, less hand-holding by us and more doctors using the platform.
Okay. So what is there's a setup fee, obviously. So you cover up any onboarding you have to do. You cover those expenses with that $3,500 setup fee. But after they get going, is there a lot of kind of human maintenance you have to put on each of these doctors?
With the new software, no. I mean, we're about 3 weeks away from that launching. And so that's the great thing is that it frees up a lot more of our time and allows me to focus on like mentoring a lot of these doctors as opposed to, the details of helping them use the software.
Talk to me about growth. So if you're doing, call it 75 customers today, 30, 40 grand in revenue, where were you a year ago with it?
We actually initially launched exactly 1 year and 3 weeks ago. Okay. So yeah, we're 1 year in. We took on for about the first 4 months, we took on 12 doctors as kind of beta testers, and then have kind of slowly added. We've done no marketing, all just kind of word of mouth at this point.
So you launched early 2018, but you said this idea, you started developing it in 2016. So it took you, 2 or a year and a half to develop it?
Yep. So a year and a half of using it myself. And then it was just last year when we thought, you know what, let's take this to the masses.
Interesting. What's the team look like just on the software side of your business? How many people?
Yeah, so I have 2 full-time employees now. I have a co-creator and partner with the concept who has a background in marketing and a degree in marketing, who is super sharp. And so she's she's constantly working on, the business systems and operation. And then I've got somebody who is full-time taking care of the doctors, making sure that they have everything they need.
Good. Brian, what about the tech, Brian? Who's the developers?
So right now, we're working with a company called Coplex, which is a company that's allowed us to really springboard this thing and use their developers and use their marketing team to really help us get this off the ground.
What's it, an agency?
Yeah, it's like an accelerator, is what I call it, but it's a group essentially that you come in to take someone who's somewhat of a professional like myself, but doesn't have a ton of background in the tech space, and they partner us with a team essentially that can come in, help us streamline systems, launch the product, take it to a place where now we've got a product that we can really take out there and grow. So it's been pretty amazing working with them.
You just pay them a retainer every month, or are they on the cap table? They have equity.
They do have a small piece of equity, so it works in that there's a small piece of equity built in for them, and then we have a contract with them, separated out into like really 4 segments. One is kind of like an initial planning and strategize session, and then it's separated into 3 different segments of progress. And as long as we're happy along the way, then we keep paying.
That's great. Now, have you bootstrapped this just with money from your dentistry practice, or have you raised capital?
No capital. So the goal was to get to this next version of the software, have it fully functioning, working, be a strong product with no debt. So we bootstrapped the whole thing at this point.
Well, that's obviously a great place to be. How much of your own capital have you put in?
I put in probably initially, it's kind of hard to calculate that as you know, but probably about $75,000 of my own capital. And then the rest of the capital has been what has been paid to us by doctors currently using the program
that others can use. There's a revenue model there, but more importantly, it's also lead gen, right? For your traditional practice, which
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is what I always wonder about, a guy like you. This kind of software could be a massive, massive company. But when you've got a multi-million-dollar dentistry practice, because you're a very successful dentist on the other side, it becomes very difficult for you to really go all in on the software. I have a friend actually who's a dentist, and I won't name him, but they're based in Indiana, and they do about $8 million a year across 3 locations. And he tried to go into software and kept asking me about, specs, and Nathan, am I doing this right? And man, Brian, he wasted almost $1 million trying to build a piece of software, but he never needed to have the software work because the dentistry was so successful. And you have to have that need to make the software work. So how do you balance your motivations?
Yeah. So for me, I've always wanted a little more than just the dental practice. My passion is with patients and creating smiles, but this last year when we first started the software, I went down to 3 days a week, and probably in the next 3 months, I'll go down to 2 days a week of seeing patients. And I travel and speak a lot on the speaking circuit. So for me, it's not really about the money. I've kind of played that game before of trying to chase the dream because of the financial motivation. Now it's just about, and impacting others on a larger scale than I can do just with my own hands in my practice.
Yep. And on just the software side, with 2 employees plus the retainer you're paying the agency, and doing 30, 40 grand a month in revenue, just direct revenue, just from software fees on that, is it profitable? Yeah,
it's profitable now. We've got a good chunk in the bank that we're just leaving there.
That's great. And the 2 people on your team, are they remote or where are they based?
They're kind of both. They're here in office, and they do work remotely too. They both have families. So they're people that have been with me for a number of years from before on the marketing side of Harris Dental. And so it's been great. We get each other, but I just happen to luck out in that they have knowledge and a background in this stuff too.
Talk to me about churn. Have you had any dentists sign up and then stop paying? And if so, why do they churn?
Yeah, we have. So a lot of the churn has been the initial platform is a little bit cumbersome as far as having to understand various pieces of technology to make it work. So we've had some churn there, but some of the churn too is just, not being willing to do the work or not being excited about that part of it. It does take, so I right now, for example, yesterday I got 13 consults yesterday alone that came in for me, and those each take about 15 minutes to record. So that's a lot of time spent, and that's an abnormal day. Usually it's about 2 a day, but it's just helping doctors understand the idea that you got to put the time in. It's you're giving people this gift of your time and your expertise, knowing that it will return dividends to you if you can do it for the right reasons. So it's got a little bit of churn just from a time sake of wanting the results, but not necessarily wanting to put the work in.
Yep. Very good. All right, let's wrap up here, Brian, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
My favorite business book right now is probably Seth Godin's new book. Oh, geez. Hold on.
It's like State of Marketing or How to Market.
This is marketing.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
It's a good one. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Not necessarily a CEO. I just happen to be watching a lot of Gary Vee stuff lately just because he's so edgy and I think just there's a lot of hype around him. But I'm enjoying watching his stuff and what he's doing in the space.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Ooh, that's a tough one. In the past, I would say probably like Infusionsoft marketing automation. Now that I'm creating my own product, it's tough. Those are really the only 2 tools I really know and understand. So probably, I don't know if we can call Coplex a software program developer, but Infusionsoft's been helpful in the past. A company called 6 Division has been really helpful.
Yep, very good. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
5.
Okay, and what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
Married, 18 years, just celebrated 18 years last week.
Oh, congrats.
4 kids. Yep.
Holy mackerel. Okay, 4 kids. And how old are you?
I'm 40. I just turned 40 2 months ago.
Congratulations, or not. I don't know. It depends on what you're going for. Last question, Brian. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh, geez. I wish my 20-year-old self knew how to chase ideas because of what you're passionate about, not necessarily for how much money they can make you. It took me a long time of being a quote unquote entrepreneur to realize that the best ideas are the ones that you truly are passionate about, not necessarily the ones that you think can make you the most amount of money.
Guys, end up chasing your passion. It's a good place to get to. Now serving about 75 dentists with this software. He built it for himself. It's working so well. They're now all paying about $500 a month. So doing, call it 30, 40 grand a month in revenue, profitable, 2 people full-time on the team, and then pays a retainer to a development agency to help keep building it as he works less on the dentist practice, only about 2 days booked there per week. Now speaking, building out this piece of the software to help many other dentists deliver more big smiles and confidence. Brian, thank you for taking us to the top.
Of course. Thank you.